Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
I see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Yeah! Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole fam.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
Switzerland are in again. Manzambi with a strike. Oh, and it's squirmed under the keeper, Crepeau. And Vancouver is absolutely stunned. And it's all over. Switzerland finished top of the group, so Canada will finish second, and they will be heading to LA instead of here.
For Demirovic, and then fired back across. Oh, it's in! That should do it for Bosnia! Bosnia's fans will be sleepless in Seattle tonight. A first ever progression from the group stage looks almost certain for them.
From the corner, near post, locked, turnaround shot, deflects, goal! Morocco leads for the first time! Blocked, it stays in play, pushed across, empty net, goal! Morocco has doubled the lead!
Easily cut out, real good press from Brazil. Vinicius! Takes advantage again! That one's going to count, I think. 2-0. Beauty for Brazil in Miami. They're improving, they're getting better.
They have to win tonight to stay alive. All the way to Maseko. Got the shot away, and it's Maseko! And South Africa have their lead! From the disaster of Mexico City to the miracle in Monterrey! And for the first time in their history, Bafana are on to the knockout rounds of the World Cup!
So they have a third goal in them. Santi Jimenez was there. Alvarado trying to tee it up, and there is the third goal, and it comes from Alvaro Fidalgo. A Mexican runaway in Group A. Mexico will be back here at the Azteca on Tuesday in the round of 32.
Power-packed show. Wow. We've got 6 World Cup games today.
Yeah.
3 on Fox, 3 on FS1, and my guy LaMelo Ball got traded. What a show. Team USA tonight. The game is largely...
No.
A vibes game.
Incorrect.
Vibes are A1 on this game.
Yeah, they are.
Incorrect. What the game's more important than you're making it out to be.
Okay.
We'll just, and also...
You sound like Coach Pochettino.
I'm also a little disappointed in Canada. Host nation, Mexico undefeated. The U.S. undefeated. All with no draws. Just win. Canada already had a draw, and now they have a loss. They don't even get to stay, or Canada, pardon me. Now they don't even get to stay in Canada.
Right. They blew a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Look, they lit up Qatar. I'm not sure Canada is a soccer powerhouse.
Well, you know what?
I'm sure they aren't.
Well, you know what? Historically, neither is the United States. It's a home World Cup.
Oh, really? Historically, we're not? I'm sorry.
Was
Canada in third place in 1930?
I was going to say 1930.
Guys,
we were all.
1930 tournament was an invitational.
We were in third place.
It was an invitational. We got invited, and then once the real game started, we
came in third place.
6-1.
We came in third
What
place.
happened in the last 100 years? We should have built on that.
Canada
we have.
There.
Just
where was
long
Canada?
built.
I didn't see him there. First hour, first things first, and it's power packed. today. Team USA taking on Türkiye. Pulisic tells Jenny Taft he's at 100%. And again, I'm not a body language doctor, but I looked at the qualifications to be one. I'm just going to say I am. He looks great. I am.
I like the way he's moving.
He's ready to go. And that's exactly right. Yep. I'm on calf sleeve alert. Meanwhile, could we see a world where LeBron is on the Pistons? Probably not, but it's fun to talk about. And finally, let's be honest.
Well, they did get rid of step one of LeBron joining the Pistons is them getting rid of Isaiah Stewart.
And
they did
that is in winners and losers.
So I'm just saying, as you would say, if there was a world where he was going to end up on the Pistons, that would have had to happen.
You never know. He likes it. He has a history of teaming up with guys.
Try to kill him.
Right.
And finally, the most motivational segment, all of sports, the Bud List.
It's so power-packed, Micah Nori couldn't make it.
That is a big story. Y'all don't know. This is not good for NBA coaching.
The show almost split apart.
I got 10 good minutes on it.
Please, if Rob Parker
after bar.
Please, you need to get back on the radio. Bruce, like 8-3, we got to talk.
Dude, the Portland.
Pay Micah. Portland, pay Micah.
Well, like we told you, Tom Dundon doesn't want to pay anybody.
Here's the thing. I actually think you would be good on it.
I do too.
I would be very good on it.
Where's your
conversation?
I got the answer to this.
Kevin Wild's podcast.
Welcome to Kevin Wild's podcast network. We give you equity too. Okay. The best podcast it's a Pacific Northwest specific. Good. Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, Kevin Wilds. And we're starting in Minnesota via Charlotte. This is my new favorite team. LaMelo is teaming up with Anthony Edwards. Charlotte getting Naz Reid, 2033 first-round pick. Robots will be taken over by then. And 3 first-round pick swaps, which seems like a lot. So LaMelo is now on the Wolves. Naz Reid is now on the Hornets. This just happened before we came on air. Your reaction to this news?
Congratulations to the Charlotte Hornets for making a tough decision when they needed to make it and having a chance, I think, to move forward with Con Knippel, Brandon Miller, and have build around that team rather than be attached to who I believe to be, while exciting, an unserious injury-prone player who, in about 2 weeks, was going to expect, understandably, that I know I have 3 years, 130 left on my deal, but I am extension eligible, and I am coming off the best year of my career and the best year as team success-wise since I've been here, which is, of course, getting clocked in the play-in. So I would like the 2 years, 120 tacked on, which is what he'll get in Minnesota. So it's 5 years, 250 for the next half decade of LaMelo Ball. And so very rarely do you see guys who are stars traded at their peak value. I think for LaMelo, because his previous 3 years, he had been injury-prone prior to last year, the team hadn't been as good. This was where his value was at the highest. And I don't understand, Brew, what Minnesota is doing. Even if you like the talent more than I do in LaMelo Ball, trading established pro Julius Randle, who struggles in the playoffs, and Naz Reid, who is as beloved there, and I think one of the more valuable 6 men in basketball. To add a high usage, no defense guard is baffling to me. So I don't understand Minnesota doing it, and I don't understand why they are remaking their team the way they are. And I think Charlotte made a good decision.
You just said 2 things that I was going to say verbatim.
Oh, wow.
I don't understand, and I'm baffled. As someone that has been dying for Minnesota to make a move that gets them on the level of San Antonio and OKC, and I get they're close. I mean, they obviously gave the Spurs a good run for their money in this year's playoffs. This just doesn't do it. And I like LaMelo. I'm one of those. I'm the second.
That's right.
Second most favorable guy towards a LaMelo on this show. You're the first.
Also the second least.
Yes. But I love the talent. And I have just said year after year after year, he has to learn how to play winning basketball. This year, it looked like he took a baby step.
Yeah.
He still wasn't efficient. He still took bad shots, but he still didn't play defense. But it looked like he was moving in the right direction. And now for Charlotte, once they started winning a little bit, to say, we got to get rid of him. Minnesota should have looked at that as a bad sign too. 6 years he was in Charlotte, never got to the playoffs. Yes, last year got to the play-in and got trampled, all right, by Orlando. And I thought Minnesota was going to I don't mind getting rid of Julius Randle in his contract. I'm fine with that. I thought they were going to put the ball in Ayo Dosunmu's hands, obviously with Ant, and give Terrence Shannon Jr. a chance. Now, I'm sure, obviously, those guys will still play. I just don't. This makes no sense to me.
And at some point, they have Dante DiVincenzo coming back. Even if you're okay with getting rid of Julius Randle, I understand that Naz Reid is, if you're doing player rankings, even if I were doing the rankings and I'm lower in LaMelo.
It's fit, man. It's fit.
Exactly.
LaMelo, nobody questions his talent.
Right.
He could be a perennial all-star. It's fit. You gave up all your size outside of Rudy Gobert. Yeah. Now, I got to believe something else is coming. I mean, you're going to play 4 guards around Rudy Gobert? Try to do what San Antonio does around Wemby? This won't work, I don't think.
It's interesting. So this team was built originally
that looks
as
like maybe
the
that's
Jokic stopper.
Now we're the Wembys.
What, did they pivot and you know what? We've hit the ceiling a few times. We've gotten to the Western Conference Finals. We're not going to break through with this Naz Reid, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert combo that we built for Jokic. The power has moved, and now we're going to play
so are
with
they
our
gonna,
tall
maybe
Frenchmen
that is what they're
and
gonna
some
try
guards.
To do. Rudy Gobert with Wemby, Jaden McDaniels, Dosunmu, and LaMelo. I mean, look, if LaMelo, this is interesting too. He's not going to be the best player on the team for the first time.
That's interesting.
Or even the man. Even if you want to say this year Brandon Miller was better or whatever, the man was LaMelo for 6 years. Now he's not going to be that. That could be a positive in that he learns and takes on what Ant Edwards and those guys that play defense are selling, or does he have trouble not being the face of the team? So it's baffling to me what you said. Maybe that makes a little sense if we're going to try to play small around Gobert, but I don't. He doesn't defend like the rest of their guards and perimeter guys.
And last year he was healthy. And he played after they had the terrible start. He played well. He was, the best player in theory on a team that for the last 3 quarters of the season did play winning basketball. Yeah. We'll give credit where it's due. Now, they did what they've done every single year that he's been there when they make the play-in. Get absolutely clobbered in the play-in, and he plays poorly in those play-in games. But, so that part, I can give him credit for the availability and what they did. But the previous 3 years to last year, he played 36 games, 22 games, and 47 games. This is and I don't know how many people are, thinking about the thing that I threw in at the beginning, KW, which is he is eligible for a 2-year extension. Even he has 3 years left on his deal.
I wouldn't give it to him.
But I think one of the reasons the Hornets traded him was because he expected to get that extension.
Okay. And it would be like bad vibes?
No. I think that if
they didn't give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, he would be upset. And so, but my assumption is Minnesota traded for him expecting to give him that extension. And then and I love Ant. If you were to give me a list of, where's LaMelo in the league? A top 30 player, okay? Of the 30 best players in the league, it's like, hey, fit next to Ant. He wouldn't be in the top 25 names I listed. Like, I'm just confused as to why Minnesota felt the need to shake the snow globe this much. Now, I don't want to say you love LaMelo, but LaMelo historically has kind of been your guy. I don't know if you're excited. Ant was your guy. He then dished you an Adidas. But, like,
I think to me, it seems like a pivot from Minnesota. And again, I'm trying, I think after we all, and I don't mean just Becky Hammon, I mean the NBA world at large, looked at the Jalen Brunson trade to the Knicks and said, this doesn't make a ton of sense. And then he became a champion. I have maybe turned up the optimism valve every time a point guard moves from one team to the other. So with that being said, Brew, do you see any way this could work if LaMelo changed his game, changed his attitude, changed his shot selection?
Yes. I mean, they still need to add some size. But
started playing defense. He's athletic enough to play defense. And Charlotte wasn't, and he's long. Yeah.
He doesn't have to be a phenomenal defender. They got Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Terrence Shannon. Like, they have guys that can defend. And Gobert to protect the rim. He just has to be an engaged defender. Put forth the effort. And like you said, he is long.
Yes.
He has the skill set to be great. I think I said once a few months ago, he has like Hall of Fame ability.
Talent.
He's nowhere near there as far as his projection, but his talent is that level. So yeah, if he matures, if the Timberwolves affect him more than he affects them as far as attitude and approach to the game, sure, because you can't be taking up these silly three-point shots, and you have to be more efficient. But yeah, the talent is definitely there. I do like this for Charlotte. And I saw when they drafted Christian Anderson with the second pick, the point guard out of Texas Tech, my first thought was, are they going to move LaMelo?
Because they already have Kobe White too.
Yeah. But this guy, 18 points a game, led the nation in assists, was an efficient scorer, 41% from three. Like, a little more serious player, I believe. And so, look, LaMelo I love the talent. There's no question about that. But I still am a bit baffled by this.
Okay, Shams, for what it's worth, you tell me if you're buying this 100%. Charlotte, quote, didn't shop Ball on the market, but listened and received multiple rich offers.
What?
That's what.
So what Shams is saying is
it wasn't a
the
Jaylen
league
Brown
had
situation.
the same reaction to them drafting a point guard as Brew did, which is, is he available? So they then, instead of them making calls, they answered calls. Fine, I don't care about that. I think smartly they decided to get out of the LaMelo Ball business at his peak value. Certainly over the last few years, because it's the healthiest season he's had. The contract as constituted, without the extension, is not a bad one. 3 years, 120 in today's.
I just wouldn't extend it.
And I think that they wanted to pivot more to. They want this to be Con Knippel's team alongside Brandon Miller, and it wasn't going to be.
There was reports that
LaMelo,
that was happening internally. That's
correct.
Like, Con's actually the leader of this team.
And so, but and I know we got to move on.
Yeah.
I thought the Timberwolves might shock us all by finding a way to acquire Jaylen Brown. And had they done that, I would have sat here and said, you got to see what they give up. But, okay, that team can win the title. You know what I mean? You add another veteran, serious pro. That fit alongside Ant, I think, is great. Yep. You'd be adding to your defensive strength, all of that. Now, again,
you think it's 100% off the board?
Yes. Absolutely.
I just don't know how they do
money-wise.
They they have no picks left to trade.
All right.
The reason they're trading is in 2033 is because they don't have other picks to trade, and the other things are swaps.
And Nas Reed is valuable.
Yes, and beloved. Guys,
I love him.
Folks were getting Nas Reed tattoos. What are you going to do about that? Remember those?
Just quickly, and then we're going to go to Team USA. As far as point guards who we thought were available, Kyrie, Ja, didn't think LaMelo. Are you surprised that the Wolves pulled the trigger on LaMelo rather than Kyrie or Ja?
Well, I would have much rather had Kyrie. I mean, veteran championship experience.
Way cheaper as far as the compensation.
I'd rather have Kyrie.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, and Kyrie's just going to go get buckets. You don't have to change your offense around him.
Okay, more on this story as we do the show. I don't know. I hear like established broadcasters do that, but then
I don't think they usually do it that way.
Well, they're
more
usually
on this story
Can I
as
tell you
it
something?
develops throughout
They're
the day.
usually not talking about LaMelo Ball.
Okay.
Maybe,
well, you know
maybe I should be.
We're going to be
Where's-
talking a
where's
lot
Tom
more
Rowe?
LaMelo this year.
Let's talk.
Turkiye
A lot more.
taking on USA in a game that has pretty low stakes, or does it? Team USA has advanced. Turkiye has been eliminated. So Team USA is resting vets and everyone on a yellow card so they don't get another card, maybe even accidentally, and miss the next game. We might see Pulisic. Here he is with Jenny Tabb.
I'm feeling great. I think the team's feeling great. I've been able to join the team in the last few days, and I'm feeling healthy and ready to go for this game.
Would you say you've been 100% in training the last couple of days?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say definitely yesterday I felt very close, and I would say 100%.
Okay. So the question is, how important is USA staying undefeated?
The game is, for the bracket and for the standings, meaningless, while the game itself actually being super important. And it is super important because, and I will keep hammering this drum, the goal was never get out of the group. The goal was never even just win the group. The goal was to have success in the knockout round in this tournament for the first time since 2002 and to match or exceed that success. And in order to do that, you have to keep all of the momentum going. And I believe, because Pulisic went on to say, I don't think it was with Jenny, that he's like, yeah, I can play, but I couldn't play the full 90. Like, that's not the expectation. I do not think Christian Pulisic at this point can be relied on for the entirety of the knockout rounds. And because of that, I think gaining more confidence that you can win games without him is very valuable. And so Türkiye is going to come out firing. They have peppered shots in both of their games. They haven't scored. Right. They have nothing to lose. And I think that's added benefit of my biggest concern about this team going into the World Cup was the goaltender, was Matt Freese. Was the U.S. was becoming the first team in World Cup history to have its opening match goaltender come from Major League Soccer and not from an international league. He's coming off just his the Team USA's second clean sheet in their last 14 games, keeping that momentum up, getting, some non-starters, getting them feeling good. And lastly, but I think importantly, I don't know what percentage of the country is dialed into the fact that this game doesn't matter. And so I do think there is a real home field advantage and a buzz domestically that gets tamped down a bit if people see, the U.S. lost. Even if it's, right. There's certainly a percentage of people watching tonight that won't know going in that the game doesn't matter.
Mexico was in the same situation yesterday,
and crushed.
And it was electric, and
yes.
they won.
Right. Yeah.
And it felt like it really mattered when, standings-wise, it didn't.
I agree with a lot of what you said, but I think it's overstated a little bit. I think it's the third most important thing in this game.
Okay.
Number one is get through it healthy, obviously. Get your the 4 guys that have yellow cards, get those erased. They won't even play. That'll happen automatically. And the second most important thing to me is get Pulisic some run and get him in a rhythm, get him in a flow. It may only be 10 or 15 minutes, but get him out there feeling good. And he may even, take a shot because to your point, Turkey, they have nothing to lose. They probably got a chip on their shoulder because they've played well but haven't won. And so they're going home, and they might be extra physical, which is a danger, but you might want him to take a shot, make sure that calf, not on the calf, but just that he's fine and he'll be fine going forward. And third to me, for all the reasons you said, is to win because of the momentum. Look, they've got America believing they can do something special. Most of those fans are probably casual fans, and so to your point, may not know about the importance or lack of importance of tonight's game, but this will just keep that momentum going. And for the team itself, they understand the difference. If we lose, it's not that big of a deal. But to break records, U.S. records. If they get 1 goal, they'll be the highest scoring team in the group stage that we've ever had.
Yeah.
They'll be the first team to win 3 games in a World Cup period for the United States. So to do all of those things, I just think that creates more momentum heading into the next round.
We've got Dax coming up. Türkiye hasn't scored a goal yet, so I'm going to ask him this, but I'll ask you as a preview. You better have the same answer as him. Türkiye hasn't scored a goal. They're going home. A disappointing World Cup. They were supposed to be the second strongest in the group. Haiti yesterday was the first team eliminated. They were eliminated in their previous game. But they played spirited soccer. It was one of like the best halves. They had an amazing goal. It was, but they had really nothing to play for except team pride. And it came home, even though they didn't win a game, I think they can come home with like their heads held high. Do you think Turkey is going to be like, you know what, let's salvage this World Cup? Or do you think there is like we see in a lot of sports, let go of the rope factor?
Listen, I am not going to act like I know the competitive character of the players on the Türkiye team. What I am going to say is Haiti's feeling being eliminated after 2 World Cup games versus Türkiye's feeling is drastically different. Haiti, I think, understood, particularly when they saw, oh, wait, it's not only that, we are an underdog before the draw. We might have gotten the single toughest draw of any team, being in the same group as Brazil and Morocco. They expected, I shouldn't say that. So they do leave this World Cup feeling like, you know what, good for us at the end. We got 2 goals against Morocco, one of the 10 best teams in the world. Türkiye went into this saying, we're the best team in this group. We're obviously moving on. We got an easy group, and to be here. So maybe they do still try to take something out of it, but it's such a different spot than Haiti.
I wonder if we've been scoring early.
If we score early, I think
we're going to see a lot of slump shoulders.
Can I say one line? The U.S. is going to be playing Bosnia in the round of 32. There's 312 scenarios that can play out. In 311 of them, we play Bosnia. We are the massive favorite there.
What's the other option?
I don't know.
To be honest,
it's pretty complicated.
I think it's Senegal, oddly, but again, we're playing Bosnia in the round of 32. In the round of 16, we're going to be playing either Korea, Egypt, or Belgium. We will be favorites in 2 of those 3 games. The tournament for me and what it's going to be judged against is, can they get to the round of 8 and can they compete in the round of 8? I showed this graphic once before. I will show it one more time. These are the teams right now projected to be in the round of 8. It is 7 of the greatest soccer nations in the world and us. That is why I feel like every single opportunity we have to gain confidence and momentum is critical, because those are the teams we are going to be competing with if we make the quarters. And that's the waters you want to swim in. And so I just think every opportunity they have to feel better about themselves is important, and that includes tonight.
I'm trying to sell a little bit of my England stock.
What? Oh, you think? Yeah, but you know what you should do with that? Buy some Brazil stock. Like I've been telling you.
We'll see.
We'll
see.
You know how sad I've been the last few days losing bets? Guess who's not sad today?
Brazil
came through for your guy.
Of World Cup soccer on Fox and FS1, 6 games on Fox. Germany, Ecuador from New York at 4. Japan, Sweden from Dallas at 7. Türkiye, USA at 10 from LA. We got 3 games on FS1. That's the next tease.
Pay's checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place, ready to use and kept up to date. And the best part, your actual card number isn't shared when you check out, because boundaries are healthy, like no work emails after 6. One small step for boundaries, one big leap for checkout. Pays. It checks out. Activation required. See Pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to First Things First. Christian Pulisic, he's in basketball mode, might play. We're about to discuss Türkiye taking on the U.S. men's national team on Fox in 11 hours and 28 minutes live from Los Angeles. We also have a slate of games on FS1, 3 games on FS1, 3 games on Fox. if you've got 2 televisions, you're in business.
It's triple headers through Saturday because they've got to be playing simultaneously. It's double triple headers through Saturday.
I love it. I'd do a lot of scoreboard watching. If I was at the game, like, oops, looks like I have to score a goal for goal difference.
Got to have multiple devices. TVs,
While I was
phones,
playing.
tablets.
He's talking about if you were a player.
Yeah, if I was.
Stop filibustering. Let's get to the team that's going to win the tournament.
They make it difficult.
Head to Miami, where the Scots took over South Beach and then Brazil took over the game.
Don't do that.
Unwise play. Let's dribble out of the box. Doesn't work. 1 of 2 goals for Vinny Jr. He has another head ball in a second, I hope. Most goals in the World Cup. Messi's got all of Argentina's goals. Vinny's got 4. Mbappe's got 4. Holland 4. Vinny Jr. is the 5th Brazil player to score a goal in every group stage game.
And had a goal taken away yesterday, would have been the first Brazilian since Pele to score a hat trick in the World Cup.
Rightfully taken away.
You can't just keep on doing that. It's like long foul balls. Like that would have been a home run.
Well, no, it would be like a home run, and then afterwards they're like, you were too far up in the box.
Dax, you've had your doubts about Brazil.
So many doubts, he went in person to go watch him.
I sure
did.
did.
To go scout
What did you learn?
He was at the game.
I was at the game. Just if you'll allow me.
Yeah.
What an experience, by the way. If you don't have to sell a kidney, highly recommend trying to get to a game because the vibes are immaculate, off the charts. Got to a tailgate, met a Scottish guy who had married a Brazilian woman, and there was a house divided, but in a respectful, jovial nature. They invited us over. The guy's name was Callum. My oldest son's name is Callum. It was just amazing. Nice. All about the vibes there. Going to see it as a fan, not having to focus on working, getting to see a bird's eye view of Brazil. And
how'd they look?
Essentially, I'm not eating crow just yet, but I will give credit where credit is due to one of the greatest managers that we have ever seen in soccer history.
What I said in the preview.
Oh, yes, you did. But it's more so the fact that he has made the biggest and best tactical adjustment that we have seen in this World Cup, which is why I am now more bullish on Brazil. Can they win the World Cup? Yes, they can. Will they? No, they won't. But we won't get to that yet. When Brazil played with a target striker, Igor Thiago, they did not look very good. Their spacing is okay, but they're boring, they're pragmatic. And so what did Ancelotti do? We touched on Mateus Cunha a little bit. He puts Cunha into the team. He plays as more of a false 9, which is essentially you start as a striker, but then when you have possession, you drop in and you force the opposition center backs to make decisions. It looks more like a diamond in midfield. This lets Vinny Jr. and either Rafinha or Ryan stay in between the center back and fullback of the opposing team and essentially test them in behind. And so you essentially open up a whole different ton of possibilities for your best player, Vinny Jr. And so Brazil was fantastic yesterday. I don't know if it was Brazil being incredible or Scotland being so poor. I think both can be true. But what Ancelotti has done has given Brazil so many different options in attack. The goals that they have scored, 4 of them have come from, I won't say catastrophic mistakes, but mistakes from the opposition where Brazil has done what they have done, punish you. And so Ancelotti, the way that they press, the way that they keep possession, it is a beautiful thing to watch when you have a manager who is getting your best players in positions to score goals. Vinny Jr., 30% of his goals for the Brazilian national team have come in the last 2 weeks.
So he's peaking.
Wow.
So he is getting the best out of this team and his players. By the way, a Brazil team that was a month ago boring to watch, very pragmatic, and essentially not the Brazil of yesteryear. And so, yes, Carlo Ancelotti deserves a ton of credit for what he is getting out of this Brazil team. I still don't know if I can put them in the same category of a Spain, France, or Argentina. Now, based on what I've seen, they are right in that category underneath them. I think a semifinal run is certainly not out of the question.
A team that I didn't hear mentioned there is your beloved England, who we're certainly not gonna We're certainly not gonna nitpick England's.
My beloved Harry Kane. My beloved Harry Kane, who missed a sitter in the last game, and I'm not happy with it.
So I mean, so here's the deal. Brazil, when the draw came out, you could argue, was in the single toughest group to win. They are the only, as far as the historical favorites, who had another top 10 team in their own group. Morocco is currently the 6th-ranked team in the world. And because Brazil had the audacity to only draw against the 6th-ranked team in the world, people were like, yeah, they must not be that good. Then they put up 3 goals in the first half on Haiti and parked the bus the rest of the time. And the commentary is, why didn't they score 6?
They were on the goal differential with Morocco. They were trying to score.
I disagree with you that in the second half of that game, they were trying to score every time.
Well, then that was a bad strategy because they were tied with Morocco.
No, they weren't tied with Morocco once they won by 3 goals. And they clearly, the goal differential ended up not being close at all,
I know, but I thought, and again, Dex, I thought just strategically we disagree. I'm taking what Landon said, that then Morocco had a game against Haiti, and if Morocco was going to run up the score, Brazil was trying to run up the score, and they were not satisfied with 3. They wanted to score more, but Haiti shut them down.
And I am right. I understand that is how it was presented in some quarters. And what I am saying is that we've now seen the whole group play. We saw Morocco want to run up the score against Haiti. They did score 1 more than Brazil, and en route to trying to score those goals, they allowed Haiti to score twice. Brazil has not allowed a goal in this tournament since the first half against a great team. You showed the Vinny Jr. where he is on the goal leaders. If we show, is it one-man teams like what we've seen right now as far as goal scoring, Argentina or Norway? Not in Brazil, because Mateus Cunha is in the top 10 in the tournament in goals as well. And the other thing we talk about when we talk about teams' chances to win this tournament is, what is their path? Well, Brazil is going to get Japan or Sweden in the round of 32, Ivory Coast or Norway in the round of 16, and then in the round of 8, Mexico or England, which of all the historical favorites going into this year, the one that I think you can but the most, other than maybe Portugal, is England. So the path is clear. They are playing great. They got Neymar back on the field. Of course they can win the tournament. Of course they can.
They can, they won't. And by the way, that round of 32 matchup against Japan or Sweden is going to be a very big test, because the only other good team that they have played, Morocco, very good team, played them off the field.
Right.
They were the better team. Guys, Brazil was pretty fortunate to get a draw.
Prior to yesterday, did I miss the commentary of Scotland's just a fraudulent team? Prior to yesterday,
Scotland, they're not a fraudulent team, but certainly not considered even in the same category or class as Brazil.
I thought yesterday they were pretty passive.
They were poor.
Didn't attack much. And I'm not taking anything from Brazil, because I do think they can win. And that's a growth for me, because I didn't think they could win this tournament.
I have grown too, bro. I've grown too.
Now I think they can. I still put France and Argentina ahead of them. But after that, I think they're with everybody else. And what I like, they have kind of, I think, found that perfect blend of they're playing with the physicality you want, but then they're showing the finesse when they, set up these goals in their attack game.
Sure.
They're showing the finesse you want to be scoring a lot too. So I think they look great, and I certainly give them a chance now, more of a chance than I thought when you picked them. That's
one thing I wanted to see from Brazil is jogo bonito. Let me see the Brazilian flair that we have seen out of them so often in times past. And actually, other than the goals, my favorite clip, if we have it, was at the end of the first half. You saw Brazil turn on the style. Yep. I've wanted to see this from them so much. You have Vinny Jr. get the ball, a little back heel into Paquetá, and then look at this run from Ryan through. What a touch. Bam. And if they would have scored this, is a great save from the goalkeeper, by the way, then I would have sat there, I would have found a way to get Nick's phone number, and I would have called him, and I would have said, hey, man.
So funny.
You're making me a believer, okay? Brazil is making me a believer. I will, right here in the camera, when Brazil plays against one of the other favorites, one of the powerhouses in the tournament, I do not think that they have enough to compete with them in midfield. It's hard to win a World Cup. And I think we saw, look, they have the 6th best odds to win the World Cup. I think that's about right. And I think that's where their story ends, probably in the semifinal.
All right, let's move on to Team USA taking on Türkiye tonight at 10 in LA. We blocked up the group. Are resting our veterans and everyone in danger of picking up a second yellow. Pulisic told Jenny Taft he's 100%. Here's what Pochettino said on potentially playing Pulisic.
We need to decide if it's possible to play from the beginning or be on the bench and have the possibility to play on the second half. That is the situation.
Do you need to see Pulisic play?
No, I don't need to see him play. And under no circumstances can you start him, which is essentially, I think, what Pochettino is intimating in his interviews. I don't need to see him play. I know what Christian Pulisic can provide the U.S. men's national team when he is 100%. And if you watched his interview, when they asked him, "Are you 100%?" It wasn't a definitive yes, I'm 100%. It was I feel good. Okay, so the way that I look at Christian Pulisic is, I agree with you guys 100%. Yellow cards, you're not playing. And then with Pulisic, it's let's see what the tenor of the game is. Let's see, like, this is where you need a manager who has a good feel for the way that a game is heading. Türkiye, nothing to play for. If they come out and start kicking people and say, look, we're already a national embarrassment. We don't want to be an international embarrassment by losing all 3 group games. And so we're going to start kicking the life out of people and really fighting to get a good result against the U.S. men's national team. I think that you need to be very careful if you're Mauricio Pochettino. And if that is the tenor of the game, if it is delving into the last 15, 20 minutes like U.S.-Australia, you cannot put him in the game. I have described him in the past as fragile. I think that's a fair assertion. I think that's an absolutely fair way to describe him. He is our best, most important player when you get to the knockout rounds because he is the best player at creating magic off the dribble and creating for others and creating space for others with his movement, his dynamism, his quick feet. So if there's even the smallest chance that that game is going to delve into chaos, I think you have to protect him. If not, if Türkiye is going through the motions and they just want to attack and try to score goals and there's a lot of open space in the second half, put him in, let him get 20, 30 minutes because it will be 18 days since he last saw game action. You want him, Brew. I saw your take earlier about a little bit of game rhythm. As long as it's not putting him at risk, and by the way, there's always risk, but as long as it's not a crazy game, get him some rhythm.
No, look, that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, if Türkiye is overly physical and maybe like, if we take somebody out, so be it. You definitely don't want to put him in that position, but I would like to get him in the rhythm. Look, all that we've done so far, he's been a very small part of it. He's played a half of 2 games, so I would like to get him out there playing a little bit to get that flow. But to your point, if it's overly physical and you don't play him, that's now what, about 3 weeks he will have been off.
3 weeks.
And if he said, I'm not 100%, that could possibly get him to 100. I know he said he's 100%, but if he can't play the full 90 minutes yet.
Take everything that they say with a little
right,
bit.
You want to get him even more rest.
The other thing he said is he's not comfortable playing a full 90 minutes after missing a match.
Right.
I don't think that is a universally held opinion. I think there are guys from the U.S. men's national team that haven't played yet in this tournament who will play the full 90 today. I understand that, he needs to feel, as healthy as possible to feel comfortable playing. That's fine. But if that is his standard, that he can't play 90 if he's just missed a match, then he must play some today.
Sure.
Because they need him to. I know he got kicked in the calf a couple times. They need him to be a full go once the knockout round starts. And so I wrote what you said. Put him in around 70 minutes. Like right after that last hydration break,
basically
put
the
him
Neymar
in. Yes, a little more than the Neymar plan. And at this point, I'm okay if guys on the U.S. men's national team are right now saying internally to themselves, similar to what Brazil is saying about Neymar. He's an amazing legend, and anything we get out of him is a bonus. Let's go. Let's
but he's got way more left than Neymar.
Of course. No,
I need Christian Pulisic fully healthy. If the U.S. wants to make a historic run, he has to be on the field the same as it can't be said about Neymar.
Just quickly, and again, there's always going to be risk, like you said.
Yeah.
Does Turkey play this crazy rough style?
Not really. That's not really their style of play. But
they shoot the ball.
When you back a dog into a corner, they can bite.
It's been a terrible turn.
I would rather pepper the
national embarrassment.
But I would rather pepper the goal with shots rather than make hard tackles.
I hope that's what they do. I hope that's what they do.
I want goals. No one's going to be great tackle.
Might be upset.
Türkiye U.S. men's national team on Fox from L.A. in 11 hours, 13 minutes. And now 12 minutes and 59 seconds. More first things first, right after the break.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
LaMelo's teaming up with Anthony Edwards, 2 of the first 3 picks in the same draft. Now that
where's James Wiseman?
That would be awesome. What do you think this acquisition means for Anthony Edwards, bro?
I think it means that he is going to have to be the best leader he's been so far. I think he's a good leader. I think he's got the right attitude, everything in that organization. And I think he's going to have to be even better at that now with LaMelo. I think he's going to have to take LaMelo under his wing. Not big brother him, because I don't think LaMelo would respond to that. Not lecture him on, look, this is how we do it here. We defend. Just befriend him and work out with him and show him how we, the Timberwolves way, we can win a championship. Like, really try to build up LaMelo into the player he can be. Because I think all of us see the talent and what he could be, and I think that's the approach Ant has to take. I don't think, I know there's some have mentioned maybe he'll want out at some point, not specific to LaMelo, but just they're not building. I don't think that's going to be the case anytime soon. I don't think he's going to look at this and be like, what are we doing? I want to get out of here. I think he believes they can win with what they have, and he needs to try to help bring the best out of LaMelo.
I think that's all very smart, and I think that it would totally be within Anthony Edwards' rights to do what you said he won't do, which is big brother him and say, this is how we do things around here. I also agree that might not be a good strategy, but it would be totally reasonable. Anthony Edwards, they are the same draft class. They were similar prospects. Anthony Edwards has accomplished a ton in this league.
I thought Edwards should have been that Rookie of the Year.
Edwards has been the better player, the more reliable player, the more mature player on the court, all of those things. And now it's his team. But I am very bearish on this move for Minnesota, and I think we will look back on the last week for the Timberwolves as the domino that ends up ultimately leading us to, in a year or two, talking about who's trading for Anthony Edwards.
Wow.
It reminded me of how we now look back on the Bucks trading for Dame, as like that move was because it didn't work, and then the Bucks were not able to compete. That really made it to where Giannis's leaving was inevitable. This is very different because the Bucks, due to age and injury, felt stuck, like they had to take a home run swing move, and if it doesn't work, so be it. I did not feel like Minnesota was in that place at all. I did not a week ago feel like Minnesota was a team that had to massively reorient their team. But they did. I agree. And I am really, really surprised that they are doing it, as LaMelo Ball will be. The plan is he will be the Robin to Anthony Edwards' Batman for the rest of Anthony Edwards' prime. That's the plan. I cannot imagine that works. And I think Anthony Edwards, guys who get close but don't get there get very frustrated pretty quickly if they stop getting close again.
Brew, you said something I thought was super interesting, and I'll just paint the picture. Wolves beat Luka and LeBron on a Saturday night primetime game. And LaMelo has 25 and 10. Anthony Edwards has 32 and 8. And Lisa Salters goes over to Anthony Edwards and does the post-game interview, and LaMelo either does a smaller radio interview or goes back to the locker room when he's been the face of the franchise for his entire career, and really, just not to give it too much like child star, since he was a little kid. How big of a deal is that, and how will that affect his play?
It's going to be very interesting because, to your point earlier, Anthony Edwards, while he's certainly on a higher stature than LaMelo, I don't know that LaMelo thinks that. No. They were in the same draft class, as you said. LaMelo was the rookie of the year, even though I and some others thought it should have been Edwards. And LaMelo, I think, has thought of himself as having achieved a lot more than he actually has. We look at the winning. He might be looking at, I made a couple All-Star games, 2 All-Star games? I'm putting up 20 and 7 every year, 23 and 7, whatever it is, max deal. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I would think he understands this is Anthony Edwards' team. I would think he gets that, but that's something to watch for.
When he's dribbling the ball up the court, the offense is running. It's like, that certainly feels like my team. It certainly feels like my team.
And he's going to have to cut down
it's
on
hard
just
to deal
those
with not being
terrible
the star.
threes and stuff.
That's how I felt when Brew joined.
I'm Jaden McDaniels. Like, wow, this guy's really good. Türkiye, U.S. men's national team, live from Los Angeles. We've already advanced. Türkiye is trying to save face. They're going to try to score a lot of goals. We'll see what happens. That game is at 10 o'clock on Fox. Stay tuned for the Bud List coming up at the top of the hour.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Live from New York, it's a show that's got World Cup fever. 6 games today, 3 on Fox, 3 on FS1. We had Dax McCarty here earlier. You guys were arguing about Brazil. Now we have Coach making his debut. Coach unfortunately got bumped for LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, Coach.
You know what? There's a Ravens story
football in June
that we have bumped in back-to-back days, which tells me we don't have to do it, guys.
What? Lamar story?
It's not a Lamar story. It's a hey, is the new coach too tough on him story? The answer, no.
Stay tuned tomorrow.
It's coming.
It'll be
we don't have to do it.
Second hour, first things first. Today, not a must-win, but Pochettino says we need to win USA Türkiye tonight. Meanwhile, the question everyone's talking about, is LeBron going to join the Pistons? It's gaining steam in the show.
Is it?
Yes, you never know.
But right now, it's time for the most motivational segment in all of sports. Also a time where we read some viewer mail. I haven't seen Christina in a long time since she's on the OT. How's Christina doing, Danny? I had to go to the post office myself and get this mail.
Early, too. Doesn't open till 9. We're on the air at 10.
They leave the sack of mail outside for me.
They do?
Yes.
Wow.
It says,
wow.
Dear Wilds, love the show. Any update on Brew's new character he tried to debut, somewhat successfully? Mr. Gritty.
Oh.
Thanks, Dawn and Don. Well, thanks for writing again. So this is the original Mr. Gritty.
We're so dumb.
C4 Cotona.
That's right.
So you know the artist.
I do. I stole his name. But he's all with it. He's cool with it.
He was cool with it. So shout out to C4 Crotone. Am I pronouncing
C4 Crotone.
C4 Crotone is the original Mr. Gritty, but he has.
But he's letting me.
He basically licensed.
Yeah, that's my man.
He's like hip hop. There's a sample, so Brew licensed Mr. Gritty.
Yeah.
There can be 2 Mr. Gritty.
I thought you were going to be in the video.
Well, maybe
the next
time.
video,
Okay.
definitely. So, time now for the Bud List, hosted by
Just
Mr.
another
Gritty.
character in the Bruniverse, right?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Now, look, this could have easily changed when we found out the LaMelo Ball trade, because he would be number 1 on the Bud List without question. But I went with the list I had before the trade broke. But number 3, somewhat similar LaMelo. Trae Young. Now, first of all, congratulations, Trae, on the 4-year, $212 million extension. And when you look at your accolades and your numbers, you would have to say you definitely deserve that. 4-time All-Star. 3 times you've averaged 10 or more assists in a season. 1 time you led the league with 11.5 assists a game. And Nick, check this out. This is the list of players who have averaged 25 points and 9 assists for their career. Look at that.
I have breaking news, bro. I now no longer care about that. Up until this moment, you've been like 25 and 9. Be like, that's awesome. And now I'm like totally meaningless.
That is impressive. All right. So like I said, the numbers and the accolades are great. And you led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Played well, actually silenced the crowd in Madison Square Garden being a villain. So you have done some things, but since then, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Since you made the Eastern Conference Finals, your reputation has become at that of a guy that puts up big numbers, but doesn't play winning basketball a la LaMelo Ball. So now is the time for you to change that, Trey. Like LaMelo, I keep bringing up LaMelo, you do have the ability. You have the skill. You obviously can score. You're a great passer. And now you have a team around you, potentially. Anthony Davis is there for now. You got the number 1 pick, A.J. DeBonsa. Alex Sarr has shown some promise as a 7-foot center. There's a lot to work with there in Washington. So now you just have to change your mindset. You can still be a big scorer, but run the team, be more efficient, be engaged defensively, be a leader, get the ball to your scorers, not as a second thought, but primarily. And if you do all of that, you can change your image to where it matches your statistical production. And I think your sky would be the limit for you as far as that. So,
Time out. So what do you mean by sky is the limit?
I mean, you could just be an all-star player. I don't mean.
That's not necessarily
maybe sky's the limit was a little higher. But you can achieve more than you have thus far.
Okay. Also,
Trey got game. He just needs to play winning basketball.
Shout out to our great producers for finding the rarely seen Trey Young in a Wizards jersey highlights.
Well,
I didn't know.
I
think we just had all of them.
I thought it was AI.
I thought we just
You only had 5 games to choose from. But Trey, I believe
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, sure. Sky's the limit.
Until Nick doesn't believe. All right, number 2, Austin Reeves. Again, congratulations on your 4-year, $185 million contract.
Who did that?
Dusty. You know I don't.
Get a cardboard box, put your stuff in it, and go home.
I bereave. Yeah, that's Dusty. But anyway, look, great story. I mean, literal rags to riches. You know how many points he averaged as a freshman at Wichita State?
How many?
4.
4. Oh. You know how many he averaged as a sophomore?
7.
8. Damn.
Close.
Transferred to Oklahoma and actually played well. Averaged 18 as a senior, but still was undrafted. All right, so you go to the Lakers, you come off the bench your first 3 years, and now here you are, a star who has been co-signed by none other than the great LeBron James. Yeah. So congratulations, Austin, on going from rags to riches, but here's the deal. That's over.
Oh.
That's over. The little engine that could story is over. All right, now you are a max guy. And the Lakers fans want max production.
That's right.
So being a turnstile on defense, disappearing, or just being woefully inefficient in the playoffs will not cut it anymore.
Man,
so you have got to step it up. I mean, celebrate this contract. I don't want to pour cold water on it. But know that the pressure now is on. And in LA, they play for one thing: championships. You got a number 1 in Luka. You have to be the number 2. Austin, I like your game. Good luck. All right, at number 1, we go to soccer.
Oh, great.
Christian Pulisic. It's time to join the party. It's been a big party so far. Team USA playing better than anyone outside of them perhaps expected, making people in America believe they can do something special. They may break our record for most goals scored in the group stage. They may break our record likely will break our record for most wins in the World Cup with 3. And we've done all of that without you. Essentially, you played the first half of the first game. Now it is time for you to join the party, because imagine how high the vibes will be, how high the potential will be if our best player comes and is 100%. So go out there today, presumably, play your, I don't know what it'll be, 15, 20, 30 minutes. Get yourself in a rhythm, get yourself in a flow, and be ready for the knockout stage so that we can go ahead and do something special this year's Team USA. Christian, I do believe in you.
Excellent. I mean, what did you think, Coach?
Oh, my God. It's a roller coaster ride.
Up and down.
It was, because I was, for a while there, I thought we were just going to go basketball, and we're closer to football than we are to basketball. And basketball's essentially over, but, we concentrate on it, and then you throw in the soccer at the end. And it's just like it just ties it in such a
you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
so good.
So I'm gonna look. I'll try to add on. It's gonna be hard, but for me, it's about Buffalo, and it's about.
Love it.
I initially was just gonna be the big three, the owner, the GM, the head coach, but I'm gonna throw Josh Allen in there too. And this is a great time of year in the NFL. Everybody's on vacation. They're spending time with their family. It's the best. It's usually relaxed. But they can't really relax in Buffalo right now. They just opened up the stadium, and we saw how exciting that was. They've had all those fun breath of fresh air activities, so the vibe is different.
Tug of war.
The music popping there.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a little obscene, but it's good. That's really cool. So you've got all those great things happening, but it's Super Bowl or bust. It's really Super Bowl and bust, and they're all part of that decision. And I look back historically, and it really hasn't happened that many times where a head coach has been fired after going to the playoffs, and then the next person in wins the Super Bowl. So they got to look more like or hope for the Fox to Kubiak situation in Denver, where they did win a Super Bowl, or the Gruden to Dungy situation. Yeah. Now that was really interesting because he wins the Super Bowl after going there, and Callahan, who took over in Oakland at the time, he took the team to the Super Bowl. So that's a situation where both new coaches were able to do something good. And then Caldwell for Dungy as well. He was able to go to the Super Bowl, but they lost. So there's a long list of transitions, somewhere between 20 or 30, depending on how you want to look at, what was better the next season. But it's not a big group that's actually been successful in achieving that goal. And you make those emotional, quick decisions based off a few tears in the locker room, you better be right.
All right.
Excellent job. Well, it's 11:15 on a Thursday. It's time now for one of his favorite segments. I'm glad you guys are here for this. It's called the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Indeed it is. And I think the sports media in general has done an excellent job, Fox and elsewhere, covering this World Cup. It's been hard not to get caught up in the excitement of it. The only drawback, if you will, to how good each of the games, every day there's been crazy stories, whether it's Messi's hat trick or Vinny Jr. yesterday, Willie or won't he, Cristiano Ronaldo, everything going on with Team USA. I don't think we have shined quite enough of a spotlight on what is about to unfold in the couple weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So once the knockout round begins, between the start of the knockout round and the semifinals, there will be 28 games played. And I just want to give you guys a quick little preview of what 10 of them either will be or potentially will be.
This is a great Sports Media Ombudsman.
In chronological order. So let's go to June 29th. That's right around the corner. What are we going to have there? Oh, in a round of 32 in Monterrey, Morocco and Netherlands. 2 top 10 teams playing in the round of 32. A couple days later, July 1st, what do we have on deck? Oh, the U.S. men's national team in its first knockout round game against Bosnia from San Francisco. A couple days after that, my sister's birthday, shout out Joe, July 3rd in Kansas City. Portugal against Ghana or Croatia, back-to-back semifinalists. More on Kansas City and Portugal in a bit. The day after, not my sister's birthday, America's birthday. How about Germany, France in the round of 16? Ooh. It could be a absolute
I might
final.
go to that game in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia on the 4th of July.
Oh, wow.
What could be more patriotic than, I guess, rooting against both of these teams? However.
So do we need to watch American Revolution and see how France helped us?
Okay, well, it's Statue of Liberty. All right, that's 4th of July. What about the next day? How about a couple games? Brazil-Norway.
Unbelievable.
And then that's from right here in New York.
I would be scared.
Later that day, what about Mexico-England from Mexico City? Mexico trying to finally make the quarters. England trying to finally actually win another World Cup for the first time in 60 years. What about the day after that, July 6th? The U.S. against any of those three teams that will be the biggest soccer game played for this country in almost 25 years, since the quarterfinals in 2002 against South Korea, Egypt, or Belgium. And I could list a few other, like I said, there's 28 games.
Draw.
Just two more quickly. July 10th, a few days after that, if we win. What about in LA to get to the first semifinals since Bruce's favorite 1930 tournament, which should not count?
We were
Taking on Lamine Yamal in Spain.
Awesome.
And then flying off the high of that, the very next day, what we have, Brazil, England?
Ooh, England
from
got
Miami?
Through, England got through Mexico.
And then they did.
Okay.
And then in Kansas City on July 11th.
This would be an all-time
Argentina,
game.
Portugal.
Yeah.
And that is all pre-semis. And I've left out some other stuff.
What time is that game?
4? What time is that game?
Yeah, what time is that game? Do you know?
No way to
9?
tell.
Well, I got to get out.
No way to tell.
It's an all-time. It's a bucket list game. I won't be here.
You're going to Kansas City?
I'll be on.
We haven't been in 2026. We go
I know.
every year.
And I hate to say we're not going to go for the next few years.
We used to, yeah. It's been a while. Who knows when we'll get back?
Sorry. Well, go for the, I was talking about the Royals. Maybe the Chiefs will do well. I don't know. Wide receiver group doesn't like to do well. I am putting Jaylen Brown on the Bud list. That was an excellent sports media ombudsman. Jaylen Brown, I too am guilty of this, so I'm not going to give you any suggestions that I myself haven't taken. I'm guilty of the overcorrection. Criticized by my wife. Oh, why don't you, clean up the living room? And I'm like, oh, okay, you think I can clean up the living room? And the next day I'm like painting the walls. It's like you're doing too much. Jaylen Brown, after the season was over, took to Twitch streams. Said, you know what? Heck, I averaged 29 points, one of the best years. We were supposed to be a lost year. We were supposed to be like the Pacers and just in the lottery. And I led us to the 2 seed, and we didn't do great in the playoffs. But heck, this was my favorite year of my career. Just being honest. Volunteering too much. And everybody killed him for it. It's like, what the heck? It's my Twitch stream. I'm supposed to be honest. So he's like, okay, I'll overcorrect. My name's in all these trade rumors with Giannis, and now I'm still supposedly, Brad Stevens might trade me. Here's what I'm going to write on Twitter. I love cats. What does it mean? Nobody knows. He's decided to go the whole other direction, and he's made a little mystery for us. Is he talking about the Charlotte Bobcats? They don't exist anymore. Either they became the Pelicans, maybe, or is that true? They become the Pelicans, or they became the Hornets?
No way.
They moved around a little bit. Maybe he's going to New Orleans. Maybe he's going. Here's another one. Then the people are researching. Oh, are there any mascots that are cats? Well, of course there are. Timberwolves are actually the canine species. The wolves.
Good call. Damn.
There is a cat out in Portland. Yes, Blaze the Trail Cat, and a mascot I didn't know it existed, and might be my favorite, Douglas Fir.
Feels like a reach.
Well, again, that's a little bit of the point. Denver's mascot is a mountain lion, which is in the feline family.
That's what I was thinking.
That would be great.
I was thinking of mountain lion.
You're thinking of mountain lions.
Yeah, I'd love him in Denver.
Well, he's probably going there.
Yeah,
that's why he tweeted, I love cats. Also, Karl Anthony Town gifts are underneath there. Yeah. Huh? What the heck? Oh. Joining the Knicks, perhaps. But Jaylen Brown, happy medium, of course. Don't volunteer too much. Say it's your favorite year immediately after being knocked out of the playoffs. Don't necessarily go with just I love cats. And that concludes the bundle. Coming up next.
Thank you, Wiles. Good addition.
This would work. LeBron or Kawhi with Cade, that would work.
Yeah, everyone's talking about LeBron to the Pistons. And Türkiye taking on USMNT national team live from Los Angeles. Türkiye is still trying to score a goal before they go home. Rough. But first, James Gordon.
Look at what I'm doing here.
5,
this is unbelievable.
4, 3, 2, 1. And you're done.
Step away from the bake.
So, Erling, tell me, what was the inspiration behind your cake?
Norway flags. This side. Gold on this side. Ball in the back of the net there.
Oh.
England side with silver sprinkles here. Gold spray here. Norway won the gold against England with the ball in the back of the net. Can
I just say, this show is only an hour every night, so maybe if you want to keep explaining your cake, put it in an email, yeah?
Fantastic storytelling, can I just say?
Thank you.
Okay, it's not a storytelling competition though, is it, Ruby? It's a cake competition, so...
Right, James, tell me about your cake. What have we got here?
I'd love to, Ruby. So what I've done is I've got an American flag in the middle of the pitch, and you can see here we've got soccer players. They're just having a lovely time, and they're playing in America, and they're saying, America, this is the moment to fall in love with soccer.
Are you done?
Thank you. Yes, I am, Erling. Okay, thank you.
Could AI help you do more of what you love? Workday is the AI platform for HR and finance that actually knows your business. We help you handle the have-to-dos so you can focus on the can't-wait-to-dos. It's a new Workday.
Welcome back to First Things First. Virgil van Dijk, Tunisia, Netherlands tonight at 7 right here on FS1.
Tunisia's another team that's just playing for pride, but I think Netherlands is going to clock them. Netherlands is incentivized to win the game. Tunisia's eliminated. Could get ugly.
Could get ugly. Great vibes in Kansas City, though. Where's that? That big heart? I like that.
I'm not sure where that is.
I think it's in the Power and Light District.
No, it's definitely not.
I think it's in the...
It's just definitely not the Power and Light District.
I think it is.
Okay. You would know better.
Tonight at 7 right here on FS1. I don't know any other districts.
Yeah, I know.
Brian Windhorst kicking around the idea that the Pistons could make an offer for Kawhi or LeBron. He's saying this or writing this?
Saying it.
He said it on television. We turned it into a quote back.
What if?
What if they go big game hunting, the Pistons, that is? What if they check on the availability of Kawhi Leonard? We're not quite sure if he's going to extend his contract in LA or be traded. What if they look at some of the bigger names who could be out there? Heck, they've cleared enough open space. They could call LeBron James if they wanted to. Everyone's talking about this. Do you like LeBron in Detroit?
I mean, obviously, LeBron or Kawhi would make them better, but I don't think they'd win the championship. They could compete. And so my preference, if I'm Detroit, and I'm not going after Kawhi just because of his injury history. Like, he was healthy this year. That was a surprise. He's rarely healthy. Sometimes he's been healthy through the year and then can't finish the playoffs. So I wouldn't do that. And if I'm Detroit, I want to use this space to try to get a long-term fit. Like a star who's going to be at least close to the timeline of Cade and play, he'll be there the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'd ideally do before I went after LeBron. But if LeBron was there, I think they'd be good.
So the benefit to
I don't think they win it.
LeBron versus Kawhi or LeBron versus the theoretical star that you're talking about is
like Jalen. If I could get Jalen, I'd much rather
LeBron, because he's a free agent, you wouldn't have to give anything up for him, and you would then be able to recreate a lot of that space when LeBron retires or leaves or whatever it is. I don't think
depending on
the other things you do. I do not think LeBron James is going to finish his career with the Detroit Pistons. However, I do think, and this is what I wanted to ask you guys, and I know LeBron's going into year 24, and I understand he's going to be 42 years old. But the Pistons are one of almost a half dozen teams that right now I think can't win the championship next year. that if LeBron went to him, I would say, well, they can. Not that they would. I have the Pistons on the same list as Denver, Houston, Minnesota. This was before the LaMelo thing. Set that aside. Miami. Those are 4 teams that I think can't win the title. That are,
LeBron's final piece list.
Yes, that's a better way to put it. Thank you, KW. I should have workshopped it with you. Where all teams that should be good to pretty good, that because of LeBron's malleability, experience, playoff IQ, all of that, he would play different roles for each of those teams depending on what it would be. But when Rich Paul, his agent, said a couple weeks ago, we've had, 10 teams reach out about LeBron. I just imagine that 4 of those 10 are the ones I just mentioned.
Quickly.
Teams that it would make sense and you could sell LeBron on, we can win the championship.
Cleveland?
I just don't think, I'm sure Cleveland reached out, but I just don't think Cleveland fits at all. If I'm LeBron, I'm like, okay, if I'm leaving LA, part of the reason is going to be because I don't want to be the Swiss Army knife role. And in Cleveland, as long as Harden and Donovan are still there, I'm once again the Swiss Army knife role. I'm the 3rd highest usage guy where I have to play off the ball a ton because those 2 guys need the ball and can't play.
He'd be off the ball in Detroit because Cade's going to have the ball.
But he would be the number 2. Like the number 2. And I think LeBron was ready and fine to be the number 2 in a lot of places. Like he planned on being the number 2 to Luka once they traded for him. It was the ascension of Austin to where Austin, and the fact that he can only play one way. I just look at that as you're going to be the number 2 in Miami because of Giannis. You'd be the number 2 in Denver because of Joker. But
I like him better of the teams you mentioned, I like him better in Miami and Houston than Detroit because, again, he fits the timeline more. Like Miami is, with Giannis, win now. And so LeBron, I think that's perfect.
Why is Detroit not win now? They were the one seed.
Because they're younger. Their star players, 24 years old, Kate? And, they're building.
I don't want to see LeBron on any team where in 10 years, if you see somebody with a James jersey with this team, you go, oh, look at that. An Iverson Pistons jersey. Oh, a Blake Griffin Pistons jersey. A LeBron Pistons jersey. It just...
You think, is that Mike James?
It just doesn't... And I know it's kind of a joke, but there's an element of, I need LeBron on a marquee team. Sorry, the Pistons just aren't one of those teams. And for me, it's the Warriors or back with the Lakers. Houston, I don't want to see him in a red Houston jersey. I just don't want to see
What about the team?
Houston, if he went to Houston and I think if he went to Houston with Durant, Şengün, all those guys,
I don't know.
I think they'd be a contender.
It feels kind of...
That would be fun.
Barkley-ish. Like, oh yeah, just didn't quite work, but it was like a nice run.
So I think
we're productive.
So here's the thing, KW. I think the only team he could leave the Lakers for, go to not win the championship, and it be remembered fondly, are the Cavs because he's been there. It'd be his 3rd thing, or the Warriors.
Yes,
I think the Warriors. It would be like that was such a fun chapter. Right. These other things you're talking about, we wouldn't look at the Iverson Pistons jersey that way if they won the title. All these other places, it would be
championship or bust.
Yes, it would be title dependent for us to see.
He's going there to bring a
not just he's going there to do it. They would have to do it in order for us not. If LeBron joined the Nuggets, a LeBron James Nuggets jersey, to your point, in 10 years,
that would be awesome.
Look ridiculous unless it's like, oh yeah, that was when in year 25 he won the championship.
I'll re-workshop my take. This is what I don't want him to dip his toe in the Durant career path.
Well, that's not.
I'll go over here, just randomly. I'll just all of a sudden be on the Suns. It feels.
I hear you.
Random.
But he's been.
But if it worked better for LeBron, if he won a championship, but to your point, he'd have to. Denver would be great.
Denver would be great. Jared Dudley's his buddy, who's the assistant coach. He's got relationships with the ownership.
Denver's really
Denver is really, but again, it would
have to win.
It would not be, a part of. It would feel really out of place unless they won.
Can I give you one final thing, and maybe this is a full different podcast? Remember when Durant went to Golden State? One of the reasons, it wasn't just ring chasing, it was we kind of joke around, like, the guy loves playing basketball, and it was a high level of basketball, and he got a kick out of it. Do you think LeBron going to Denver would be that? Like, I don't think he would enjoy mediocre basketball. I think he wants
like just playing with Joker. I think that's the same. I think the allure of playing with Steph is similar to the allure of playing with Joker from a basketball perspective. Steph, it's obviously a more marquee franchise and the relationship and the history of the two guys. But I think from just like playing basketball with another all-time legend who sees the game like you, that's.
I think you would like it.
That's what
an actor wants to wear. It's like Heat.
Great
movie Heat. Have you seen the movie Heat?
Of course. Brew has not.
You haven't seen Heat?
Maybe decades ago.
No, he hasn't.
It came out decades ago.
We talked about this.
You should see Heat tonight.
Robert De Niro, Al Pacino.
Well, there's
great bank robbery movie.
I gotta watch
bank robbery.
I gotta watch.
Michael Mann.
I read the book.
Oh, you're such a good for you, buddy. I'm happy you read the book. You read the book.
Yeah, Heat too.
Good for you.
10 hours, 22 minutes to Türkiye.
You know what? You should.
USA.
You're not good enough yet on this show to be spending time reading Heat 2. Study some facts.
Türkiye still needs to score. They lost 2-0 to Australia, 1-0. Get on the board, Türkiye.
This summer, soccer is here, and so are the watch parties. And Uber Eats has your game day essentials covered with 30% off orders from Aldi, Kroger, and Dollar General. Everything you need to keep your crowd happy, delivered straight to your door. Chips, dips, fresh ingredients, and more. Order in so you can lock in for the games. 30% off your grocery order, only on Uber Eats for a limited time.
Welcome back to First Things First. Ecuador, Germany on Fox, right across the river in New York, Germany, in Times Square. Wow. That looks great.
It does.
We're going to be there next week visiting the Cube guys.
Yes.
The guys watching all the World Cup watchers in the Cube in Times Square.
It's right outside my apartment.
You got an apartment?
Airbnb.
Yeah. An apartment.
You got a real apartment? Like an efficiency apartment?
I got a little kitchenette and everything.
Really?
I would hope so. He's living here for 2 months. He's going to eat out every
Come
meal
visit
of
me.
every day.
Come visit me. I'll take you to these. I'll take you to these parties in Times Square.
Ecuador, Germany today at 4 on Fox. USA is playing later tonight against Türkiye. Both teams' fates are sealed. We don't have to win tonight, but we need to. That's the headline and message from Coach Pochettino. USA won't take their foot off the gas versus Türkiye. We need to win. Nick, you're big on this.
Yeah.
But you're also big on, practicality. You're not really a vibes guy. That's usually
here's what I'm big on. I'm big on treating the World Cup differently than you would treat a second-round NBA best-of-7 playoff series, then you would even treat an NFL playoff run that happens every single year. And I am certainly big on a country that is trying to create a World Cup history in real time, taking every possible opportunity to grab as much momentum, as much confidence in its players, as much opportunity to strike a little fear in whatever the next opponent's heart is. And so I think that stumbling against a Türkiye team that has been one of the most disappointing teams of the tournament, even if we are not playing with all of our frontline guys, is a missed opportunity. So, yeah, I think it is certainly, now undefeated is a unique word in soccer because it doesn't necessarily mean you win.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think it is critically important they literally stay undefeated, meaning they don't lose. I'm not going to come here tomorrow if they draw 1-1 and be like, all momentum stymied.
Yeah.
But I I think avoiding a loss is more important than actually getting a win. But I think, yeah, go out and get the win. That's how I feel.
Momentum is very real in sports. It just is. And if you're Mauricio Pochettino and you have been preaching for everyone to hear that this is not just a team with a starting 11 and then everybody else. This is a roster of 26 players, and we trust every single player to go out there and get the job done regardless of if they don't play a minute, if they play 5 minutes, or if they play 90 minutes in every single game. So if that's the case, I don't necessarily care what you do with – I care what you do about the guys on 4 yellows, and I care about what you do with Christian Pulisic. What you do with the rest of the lineup, I don't care, because you are preaching the depth and quality that this team has. So put a team on the field that's going to go and win the game. You know how many times the U.S. men's national team in World Cup history has won 3 games in the group stage?
Never.
Zero. Never. This is a U.S. men's national team of history. I would like to think that they are a U.S. men's national team of destiny that is going to do something special that will change soccer in this country forever. And if you are going to do something like that, you have to go and win a game like this. It does not matter who you put on the field. And I have put pressure on the U.S. men's national team to prove us wrong leading into this World Cup. There was criticism, there was uncertainty, the vibes were high, the results weren't there. Well, now the results are there, the performances are there, and while you may be rotating and resting some players, I'm not going to allow them the easy way out to just take all the pressure off. I want them to win this game, and I want the good momentum, good vibes going into that Bosnia game.
Yes, you want to win, and the vibes will rise up if we do win, but if we, like to what you were saying earlier, one, I understand the World Cups every 4 years, but you mentioned the NFL playoffs or NBA playoffs. The World Cup is the highest level of soccer. It's the ultimate goal, thing you can achieve. So are the NBA playoffs every year and the NFL playoffs. So I do think it's similar. And if I was in this situation, if we're up 3-0, then winning that game 4 isn't as important. Yes, we want to win it, but it isn't as important as just winning the series. And so if we lose this game, but go on and make the final 8 or, even win that in the final 8, this is not going to put a damper on it. It's like we've said, Argentina lost last year in their first game. So they weren't undefeated in the group stage. They went on to win. Spain's done it in the past. So I agree with you guys that for momentum, for the vibes of the fandom throughout the country, and even the team, because Pochettino preaching, why not us? And then to have a lot of your reserves go out there and win a game against a good Turkiye team, that just heightens that belief.
Everyone feels like they're a part of it.
Yeah, but if we don't win it, I don't think the momentum is all gone.
KW, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this is not a perfect analogy, but just stick with me on it for a second. If Lamine Yamal gets hurt again or re-aggravates, I don't know if it's calf or hamstring. I don't remember.
Team hamstring.
Sorry.
Year of the hamstring.
Do you think that strikes more anxiety in Spain than it would have before the tournament because of how they looked in that first game against Cape Verde without him? Like, if he gets hurt.
100%.
Right. And they're like, oh, man, we are really reliant on him.
Got you. You're saying, I understand.
The opposite of that, I believe, is also true. If in that first game against Cape Verde, Spain had done what I thought they would do and what I put a lot of money on that they would do, and scored 3 goals without Lamine Yamal, then at least if he goes down, it's like, all right, proof of concept.
Sure.
I understand Spain is deeper than the United States by a long shot. I think the more minutes we can play without Christian Pulisic looking really good, the better chance we have of feeling okay if we are playing a round of 16 game against Egypt and gosh darn it against Bosnia, he got kicked in the calf again and he's not good to go. And I think that it is very of every team in the World Cup, I think the 2 guys whose best player I'm most anxious about missing time, I just mentioned them both. Lamine Yamal and Christian Pulisic. The guys that Yamal we knew was injured going in. Pulisic, I was unaware. Evidently, everybody, he knew that the calf was feeling tight and he had gotten kicked in practice. I just think it is critically important, assuming he's not starting today, that they have another game where it's like, We can create.
Remember,
other
we're without
chances.
four other guys.
Oh, well, which is
starters.
agreed, and there has been a feeling that because he is the most talented guy on the roster, that we are not going to be able to have these multi-goal games without him creating the opportunities. If we did that twice in a row without him out there, I think you would feel better about your chances if you have to be without him.
There's also something to be said about our biggest rival, our biggest regional rival, our biggest rival in soccer. Mexico won all 3 group games. All right, so now I'm feeling pressure to put Mexico on my power rankings in my big board. So U.S. men's national team, please do not allow me to put Mexico on there and drop you down. I can't have that.
Final prediction before we go.
Draw.
Draw 1-1?
Draw 1-1.
1-1 draw. What do you have?
I want them to win, but a draw.
I think the United States wins 2-1.
I also have
good vibes.
Drew?
I got 2-1.
We all
Fine,
have
keep
2-1.
Now
I'll go 2-0.
I look like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No, it's fine.
I'll go 2-0. They can't score. Türkiye can't score. I'll tell you what game I'll have my eyes on. Let's go
They
Blue
could qualify,
Wave.
bro.
Curacao taking on the Ivory
big
Coast.
W for you.
Both teams are alive. Ivory Coast advances with a win or a draw. Curacao win would get to 4 points. Probably
No,
would
100% advances with a win for
Oh yeah, would be one with a win.
With a win.
They'd be one of the best third place finishers. Let's go. That's right here on FS1 in 4 hours, 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Come on, Curacao. Oh, it's at stakes.